So this is all about understanding how this system is going to get you where you want to go a lot faster, right? So like Gino was talking about, how long would it take you to save up $100,000, right? How long would it take you to work and save up $100,000? Okay. This system bypasses all that work. You actually have some money while you're still alive so you can enjoy your life, and it allows you to essentially get ahead in life. But you have to use the money wisely. At the end of the day, you're going to have $100,000, $200,000. And I mean, you can probably just go buy a bunch of stupid shit and enjoy your life for a little while, but then you're going to be in a world of debt and a world of pain. Okay. I'd rather you get this money, become an investor, right? And invest it wisely so that you can create something that's going to take you to that next level in your life. Okay. So you need to educate yourself. But the main thing about this video is like, this is going to save you time. Time is valuable. Like you're only alive for so long. You don't want to work the entire time that you're alive and hate your life. Like this whole thing is all about the experiences that you have and the experiences that you share it with. Those are kind of more important. But yeah, what else do you think about how the system is just faster?
Well, the system is faster in a sense where this system was created in America, and it wasn't education was not provided, I would say, to the people. And essentially the system has been there forever. It's just that we haven't taken advantage of it in the right way. So essentially we are the the freedom fighters coming here and telling you guys, you can get access to the money. You don't have to work every day of your life to make $100,000. You can get access to the money by using your credit profile. Your current credit system that's already been placed in place for us has been used over and over again by creditors, by bankers, by lenders, by mortgagers, whoever. Whenever you buy a house, they require you to check your credit. Whenever you buy a car, they check your credit. They say, hey, where's your credit at? So that profile is so crucial. It's more important than your job. I'm going to say that right now. Yeah. It's more important than your job. It's more important than, anything that your parents have done in the past or whatever. Like the money that you have, even your money in the bank, it's more important than your money. I would say, if you have 100,000 in the bank, that's nothing compared to your credit score. So your credit score is a powerful tool. You have to learn how to manage your score. You have to learn how to appreciate your credit profile and build your credibility. If you haven't been doing things right, you haven't been paying your bills, you haven't been doing the right things, that is why there is a credit report or credit score in place purposely made to imprint you as a bad creditor. You are now imprinted, and no longer will you be accessing the money that you deserve when you were born. You deserve the money that you were born with. That money is associated to your social security number. And also you can open up entities for your business or your personal name, right? Businesses that are EIN numbers, you can get other EIN numbers. Now, essentially those concepts are related to the same concept of your credit report. Your EIN is just like your social security number. So your goal is to access the money that you were born with. Now, if you can do that, then you don't have to work 5, 10, 15, 20 years to save up $100,000 to make your first real estate investment, to make your first business investment, to make your first any investment, that passive income investment, if you want to call it, any investment that will create, generational wealth does not have to wait for you to save up money. You don't have to depend on your grandma, your grandpa, your mother, your sister, your aunt, or whatever, anybody else to give you money or leverage them. You can leverage yourself. The first time we're providing you a system for the first time that you don't need anyone else. You can do this on your own. As a working class American, if you have a social security number, you are, accessing this money based on your rights. These are your rights. You have access to the money. You can use the money that's there for you, start creating passive income, and live the life that you were meant to live. The American dream is alive. It's real. Okay. It's there. You just have to be able to understand the financial system, understand how to get access to the money, because let's be honest, how long would it take you to save $100,000? Even if you're a doctor, I don't care who you are, how long actually save. I'm talking about actually have hard money in your bank of 100 racks, in there, and you can go and buy a real estate property, and then you have to pay for the debt, right? So you essentially, how do you learn to leverage so that way you can get access to the money and create new money from the leverage, the debt that you've created, to create new money to pay off the original debt, and you get to keep that, that difference. That difference is every month of not having to work for the debt that you just created. You're now making money every month from that difference that you now, generated based on the money that you created. So that money is there. It's like, cash is not a hard asset. Cash is liquid. Cash is trash. You need to learn how to access credit or lines of credit to access the money and create generational wealth by letting the money move and work for you. If you're going to work forever, then you're never going to use the system that was placed in for you in America to use for you to become financially free, to live the American dream. The American dream was created by our founding fathers. Like this was imprinted in our Constitution. We have the right to, for liberty, for free speech and all this stuff, right? We have the right to do that and also live a free life, like live a life that we are, inherently by God invested and live here in this country. We are allowed to live a life, to have a family, have a stressless life. We shouldn't have to be stressing every day of our lives to survive. So learn how the system works, become self-sufficient, and don't depend on others. Depend on yourself and start leveraging the banks. Start leveraging other people's money and investing in passive cash flow assets that we're going to teach you so you can learn how to make financial freedom for yourself and your family.
And I think it's really powerful. Like if you have a bunch of money and it's just sitting in a bank account, it's actually a liability because inflation is going up. It's losing value, right? It's not the worst thing that's ever happened, but at the same time, it's like an asset is like a business, right? Something that is constantly making money. An asset is a real estate property, something that's in the real world, something that you can touch and feel. And it's going to basically need somewhere, people need places to live, right? So somebody's going to be able to pay the rent. It's going to be able to cash flow. The passive income opportunities is moving the money and very quickly and allowing you to double your money, not double you, but make that money work for itself to create an income so that you can pay for your basic necessities in life. I was actually looking it up. So apparently like the FICO score started in 1989, but the very first original credit reporting stuff started in 1841, right? And the way that it really started is you got to imagine like there was a marketplace, right? And then there was a banks, and they basically decided that they're going to go out to all their accounts and they wanted to grade them on a scale from 1 to 10, right? So some little old man with a clipboard was going to the marketplace and asking, okay, how good are the merchants essentially? What's their credibility? Are they credible? And some people would have a score from 1 to 10, right? And it would be like, oh, well, he's not credible, but his dad actually has a lot of money. So he is kind of credible, right? So that's how it all started, though. It all started with credibility. It's pretty powerful.
It used to be just based on your last name, they knew that you were a credible person. Just based on your last name. Whatever your last name was, they knew that this individual was his family was a credible family. They kept their word. They were good people. They did a good job, and they worked hard, and they also paid their bills, right? Credibility goes back ancient times. I mean, we're talking about like before America even existed. But the people, the founding fathers that came over to the United States, they felt the pressures of the other country, the other colonies during Britain and stuff. They realized that they had to have their own financial system in order to create financial freedom, because they were always depending on someone else. They didn't want the people to depend on anyone. They wanted the people to depend on themselves based on their own credibility. They would either become financially free, or there will be the ones that are going to be working for the rest of their life. So you choose where you want to go. You just have to understand and become educated and raise your level of knowledge of how the system works and how to use the system for your benefit.
And it's all about being credible, right? So there's a lot of BS on the internet, right? So if you want to be a real person, be somebody who's credible, be somebody who has some integrity, some honor and stuff like that.
Exactly.
But on the same time, the credit score only started, the real one, the new FICO one that they're using to really control your whole life, only started in 1989. Okay. That's like pretty much as old as I am. So that means that this is kind of a new thing, right? So we can still use this advantage because we found loopholes and we found ways to use this to get our family and our friends and our life to that next level faster, essentially. So this is incredibly powerful.
Absolutely. It's a life-changing thing. You have to just focus on how to get access to the money. And then once you have the money, how not to have to work for that money. Working in a 9-to-5 job, trying to save, $5,000-$10,000 a month is almost impossible. That's like your paycheck, right? Most working class Americans make about $5,000 a year at most. right? It's
Yeah.
like,
Well, and the new inflation there, I read something that says most Americans have to pay an additional $1,000 per month right now than they did like a year ago.
oh
So
yeah, exactly.
that's why people are struggling.
So not only is money is scarce, it's
Yeah.
also going up. It's also dropping in value, which means that it's
Yeah.
going to take you, to go to the gas station. It used to be $2.50. It's $5 right now in California.
Right.
So it's like, it's at the end of the day, you're gonna fill up half the tank than you used to fill up, and then you're gonna be looking to ways to make more money. So people are having to work 1, 2, 3, 4 jobs, 5 jobs just to make ends meet. And it's like, you are not meant to live like this. You're meant to live in a very calm, peaceful manner and be able to manage your finances as any working class American would do. If they're working, they do a specific trait. That is your trait. That doesn't mean you have to work 5 different traits to keep your family alive. You have to be able to learn how to invest your money properly with the right system that we have put in place for you. You just follow the roadmap. It's a blueprint. There's no difference between you and someone else. Every person that comes to our program can become financially free if they play their cards right. They do exactly what we tell them to do, and they follow the lines. It's like the blueprint is there. We've had multiple people that have done it. They're investing, they're making passive income, whether it's investment opportunities that we'll talk about later in the course. But really, what we want you to know in this part of the course is that we want you to understand that you cannot think like a worker anymore. You need to think like an investor, like an owner, keep your ownership, go back to their roots. Working class Americans have been given the rights to have ownership. So become an owner of your own finances, take control of it, and start accessing the money that you were given to by birth. That's what it is. So get the money that you were given to. This money was provided for you. The system was created recently. However, the lending system has been around since the Knights Templars, okay? And back before America even existed, okay? They would give out the real receipts and say, hey, I hear some gold. I'm going to go pick it up over there in a few months. Or, in Scotland, for example, I'm going to pick it up and I'm going to pay a little fee because I have to take this money from another location. Or I have to pick up this gold from somewhere else because it would travel. Or they'll give them another receipt for a value of a similar value. That was the first banking system. I think
it was chickens before that, actually.
Yeah, maybe there was. Instead
chickens. Of somebody carrying 5 chickens, they would get a note that was good for 5 chickens.
But there was always some kind of note, right? The note, just like our
the note was the key thing.
Exactly, they work off these notes, right? It's like they wrote a little note. This is worth $5, and then you put this in the bank. You go over there, you take out your $5, and then they charge you like a 50-cent fee or whatever. So that 50-cent fee, the bank still make, right? So it's like, oh well, we have a banking system. How do we provide more money? These people don't have money, so how do we get them more money? We give them credit, and now they have access to more money, and they got to pay more
on credit.
Like, well, the banks make money, you have to pay more. But if you know how to use that money that they gave you in the right way, you can pay back the banks and your debt and make some money. You can do all 3 at once. You don't need to do the day-to-day things that you think you have to do and go to work and try to make the money to pay your debt. Make the money that you have access to pay your debt for you.
Yeah. Boom. Become the rainmaker of your family.
Rainmaker. Create your own wealth. Create your own financial system. Create your own economy. This is an economy. You have the power. It's in your social security number is really where it starts. And let us teach you how to leverage that.
But so the goal for this video, that was like, start with credit repair, fix your credit, right? We're going to get into that. Get the money, get other people's money, turn that money into a system that creates more money, that pays off its own debt and gives you that infinite return. Okay. You got to be real smart at this phase, but just getting access to the money is huge for anybody. Right. Yep. And then you basically need to level up, and we're going to talk all about that more, but I hope you see the light about how this system will save you years of your life and save you years of struggle, years of working, and this will help you. You really have to learn how to turn off that employee mindset that a lot of people have and become that owner and become that investor mindset of how you can multiply your time, how you can leverage money, leverage time, leverage software, leverage assets into becoming a leader in the new world and be the rainmaker for your family. Right. That's kind of what I think.
I want all Americans to be able to be financially free. If it's possible, why not?